All right, welcome to your fourth call this month. And again, there is going to be a bonus call at the end of the month. I believe the bonus call is the 30th. Let me make sure that that's accurate. On your manual, it will say that it is for, when did I have that? It's not even on here. It will say that it was for the advanced alignment crew, which are people who have been in TAU past 6 months, but I've since dismantled that since I changed the format of TAU. So now it's just going to be a bonus call because the last call I could not get my technology to work, and it was a shorter call. So I'm just going to do like a bonus call. It is in your PDF, so if you open up the PDF in the file section, it'll tell you what date and time that is. I have to go do that after this call because for whatever reason I can't find the exact date on my written planner. All right, so we're doing something a little bit different today. So every other call, it's Q&A, which usually means I'm just like live inside a Facebook group for now. That's been working. And then I'm just taking questions and answering them on the spot. And then every other call is live coaching. It's going to be like this. And we're probably going to be in this format so I can bring you guys on and coach and tap at the same time. The other exciting thing is that we are now including EFT tapping. So that is revolutionary, and I want to explain why real quick. So up until now in here, we've been doing models on thought. So we've been organizing our thoughts and our results according to what we think. I've been helping you walk through the model, what my own coach Brooke calls the model. And if you don't know what the model is, there is a video in our group. So please make sure that you go into the group and you go into the unit section and you watch the video on how to. If you ever get stuck on working a model, there's a video for you in the learning units for how to work the model. Okay, so up until now, that's what we have been doing. And for a lot of you guys, working the model where you are now and then creating what's called an intentional model where you want to be has worked really, really well. But for a lot of us, sometimes the emotion is really high and we can't make that jump. So I have been on the hunt and search for months on how to create actual physical change in the subconscious mind in real time without it taking a long time. This led me back to EFT, which is a technique I have actually known about for 8 or 9 years and have used in my own life before. And I decided on a God calling to become certified in EFT, and it works beautifully and perfectly with the work I've already been doing with you guys. So TAU will move into an EFT coaching program very, very soon, and that will become an integrated part of the program. So any members coming into the program will have access to that. Now, due to the nature of the group setting and the fact that we don't have a lot of time to do a whole, like really in-depth, because an issue or an event can have many aspects or layers to it, it will be shorter sessions. So if you do want to book one-on-one EFT sessions, which are up to an hour in order to work through maybe a traumatic event, a bothersome memory, a physical issue that needs more time, you guys will be able to do that with me at a 40% discount off what I will be offering the public. So you guys are going to get a massive discount on one-on-one sessions because you're already members of TAU and you already have a monthly membership in TAU. Also, reminder, if you had to cancel your membership from the previous model of TAU and have not renewed it to be here in September, now is the time to do that. So September, we're going to be talking about anxiety and depression. We're going to be covering those two topics and working through them not only from like a model perspective, but from an EFT perspective. And instead of giving you just meditations every month, I'm still looking to bring you meditations, but I also will be including like a short 5-minute tapping video that's generic for that topic. So for example, I will be recording a 5-minute video tapping on depression and anxiety, and it will be in the group as well for you guys to use. Okay, again, specifics sometimes take longer. So there's a specific event that triggered the anxiety or the depression, that's when you'd go kind of the one-on-one direction. So those are all the announcements. That's a lot of things, but very exciting that you guys will have access to it first before I open it up to the public and start offering it to everyone else. Okay, so make sure that your memberships are active unless you're in my downline so that you can be here for September and be a part of that conversation moving forward. All right, okay. So again, you can just go to the site and the button for enrollment is already updated, so you don't have to do anything crazy. Just go to my site and you can re-enroll. Okay, so I have a list with me of people, and the first person who messaged me was Monica. Can you type in the chat box for me, Monica, that you can hear me and that you are present? Again, all of you guys are muted and you're off camera on purpose. You're only going to be on camera and unmuted if we're working with you one-on-one. Okay, cool. So Monica, are you able to come on camera one-on-one, or are you like in typing mode? Okay, cool. Go find you. I'm gonna unmute you. Ask to start video. Hey girl.
Hello.
Hi. All right, so you did send me an email and you mentioned a couple things in there. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick the one that's like most pressing for you right now. Like what is, you mentioned this meditation you were doing, which kind of triggered like a physical response in your body. And then you also mentioned the situation with your mom. So which one is more present for you like right now?
Right now, the headache. So I haven't been able to get rid of this headache. So, which I'm assuming is from the meditation, potentially.
Okay. All right. That's such a good
talked to my mom this morning though, so who knows if that's the reason.
Okay. Have a headache.
Yes, very strong, almost migraine-ish.
Okay, so give me some qualifying words for this headache. Burning, piercing. How would you describe this headache?
It's more of a pressure, like across the top of my head.
Okay. Like a pressurized headache across the top of your head. Okay. And if you had to give it a number, 0 being not there at all, 10 being this is excruciating, absolutely the worst, what would you give it?
Probably a 6.
A 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to work on physical issue today with tapping, and we're going to see what happens and where that goes. So this is really fun because you get to see really fast results with the tapping, and it also opens up a lot of other things. So as we're tapping, become aware of what's happening. And if all of a sudden you have like a new thought or a new memory or something comes up, feel free to share that as we're tapping. But yeah. Okay. You ready? So here's, you're like, sure, I don't know. I'm unsure if I'm sure. I'm gonna take this off because it's easier for you guys to see me tapping. So I'm just gonna run through some points real quick. I want you to see if you can find up here, like in between like shoulder and top of pec, there should be like a sore spot. You tap into like a place up there that feels kind of sore when you rub it, press and rub.
Okay.
Can you find that?
Can't find anything that's sore. Am I doing it on the right side?
Yeah, maybe do it on the other side, switch sides. Doesn't matter, either side. Maybe a little bit more towards the pec.
Oh, it almost takes my breath away.
Okay, that right there. Yep,
okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
all right, we're gonna rub that. Gonna rub that, you're gonna repeat after me. You're also gonna follow where I'm tapping, okay? So even though I have this really strong headache across the top of my head.
I have this really strong headache across the top of my head.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though
I
have this strong pressure that feels kind of like a migraine.
Even though I have this strong pressure that feels kind of like a migraine.
Across the top of my head.
Across the top of my head.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this headache.
Even though I have this headache.
And it's a lot of pressure.
And it's a lot of pressure.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Top of head, this headache.
This headache.
Back of neck, this headache.
This headache.
Top of head, this headache.
This headache.
eyebrow, right where the eyebrow begins, this headache.
This headache.
Side of your eye, really right in the side of the eye, this headache.
This headache.
Under eye, this headache.
This headache.
Under nose, this headache.
This headache.
Chin, this headache.
This headache.
Collarbone, this headache.
This headache.
Right on the collarbone, yeah. And then thymus, kind of right in the center of the chest, this headache.
This headache.
Under the opposite arm, right bra strap, this headache. Yep.
This headache.
Mm-hmm. Now you're gonna tap right in the side of the thumb where the nail bed is, this headache.
This headache.
And then you're gonna tap the pointer finger, this headache.
This headache.
Middle finger, this headache.
This headache.
Pinky finger, this headache.
This headache.
You're gonna tap in between the ring finger and the pinky, this headache. Okay. Now close your eyes, this headache.
This headache.
Open your eyes. Look far down right. Look far down left. Now make a big circle to the right with your eyes and a big circle to the left with your eyes. You're gonna hum for me, happy birthday. You're gonna count 1, 2, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're gonna hum again. This is activating left brain, right brain. That's why we're doing it. Karate chop, right here. This headache.
This headache.
Okay. Coming back to the top of the head, this headache.
This headache.
Back of shoulder, this back of neck where the shoulder meets, this headache.
This headache.
Back to the top of the head, this headache.
This headache.
Eyebrow ridge, this headache.
This headache.
Side of the eye, this pressure in my head.
This pressure in my head.
Under the eye, oh, this pressure in my head.
This pressure in my head.
Under the nose, this headache.
This headache.
Chin, this headache.
This headache.
Collarbone, man, this headache.
And this headache.
Side of the arm, headache is so much.
Headache is so much.
Wrists together like this headache.
This headache.
All right, take a deep breath. What do you notice?
The pressure's gone.
So 0 to 10, where are we now?
Maybe 1.
Ooh, went from a 6 to a 1. What is up?
I don't know.
Yeah. Is your mind freaking out? Are you having like a moment right now?
What the hell just happened?
How else do you feel outside of the fact that the pressure's gone in your head? What else do you notice?
Actually, when we were doing the rubbing, I felt like I relaxed, like all the tension left me.
Okay, so now you just generally feel calm.
Yes.
Okay, so while you were tapping, did any thoughts come up or any like memories come up?
I feel ridiculous. That was the only thing that.
It does look a little bit silly because you've never done anything like that before.
No.
But what you're doing is you're activating all these really important meridians in the body that control the flow of chi in your whole body. Okay? That's what you're doing. And when you're humming and then you're counting, you're activating the right part of your brain with a song, something you remember. And then you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a left brain function. So you're activating both hemispheres of the brain at the same time, while you're holding this intention and moving through the meridians, okay? This is crazy powerful. Like, this is the real deal. You saw it. It went from a 6 to a 1. You're like, I don't know, pressure anymore. I don't know what happened to my head. It's different. Okay? So now that we dealt with that, is there anything else that's present for you? Like, what's on your mind right now? Is there anything else you're noticing in the body or in the emotional body?
I have something here right this second.
Like in the back of the neck or?
Back of the head.
Back of the head you're noticing. And what does that feel like?
Again, pressure.
Feels like pressure.
Different. Yeah.
Does it have an emotion associated with it, or does it just feel like a physical thing?
Physical thing.
Okay. So let's do we'll do what's called like a basic quick tapping round. So we won't do, this called 9 gamut. We won't do that whole thing. We'll do wrists instead to activate all those meridians. See if we can get rid of that. Okay. So
Okay.
we're gonna do this remaining pressure.
This remaining pressure.
This remaining pressure in the back of my neck.
This remaining pressure in the back of my neck.
This remaining pressure.
This remaining pressure.
This remaining pain.
This remaining pain.
Feels like pressure in the back of my neck.
Feels like pressure in the back of my neck.
It's not so bad, but it's there. I notice it.
It's not so bad. It's there, but I notice it.
Yeah. It's pressure in the back of my neck.
This pressure in the back of my neck.
You saw how you sighed? That was a moment right there. Something just shifted with you sighing.
Yes.
You felt it drop through the body. Okay. In the thymus, this pressure in the back of my neck.
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 Okay, take a deep breath. So what happened when you sighed?
Just felt a release.
Yeah. How's the back of your neck, your head feel right now?
It feels clear.
Feels clear. That's a good word, clear. Like there's not stuff there. Like it's clear.
It's clear.
Yeah. Okay. Your shoulders, I saw you like sigh and then your shoulders like dropped. And I was like, oh, there it is. That was so one of the things that will happen as you tap is you'll yawn. I'm a yawner. Like I'll be tapping all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'll yawn like 10 times, especially that's movement of energy. Or you'll sigh and you'll visibly notice the person's body change. Or you'll forget. This one was really funny. I watched someone forget why they're tapping. Like they're tapping and they just forgot. Like, what am I saying? They have no memory of the words. Like they can't follow along even though they're listening. Okay, so, or they'll finish tapping. They're like, what were we tapping about? Like they don't even remember what they were tapping on. That's another really interesting result, which I've seen as well. So how, like, if you were to share with the group, like from when you started this conversation to where you are right now, how do you feel? Just physically. How do you feel?
I feel actually great right now. I've been walking around cleaning the house with a pounding headache, and I'm just like, okay, this is fabulous.
Now you're like, I feel awesome. I wish I felt this way before I started.
I haven't worked out yet because I had a headache.
Now you can. Isn't that great? That's amazing.
It is actually.
Yeah, so good. So you probably had this headache start because of this thing with purpose, this meditation that you're doing, right?
Yes.
You're getting mad at your meditation. That's what I read in your email.
I was very angry, woke up and shut it off.
Okay. So right now, do you feel very angry?
No, I'm very relaxed right now.
You feel very relaxed. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to sit with those results. And then tomorrow, I want you to come back into the group in TAU, and I want you to share how you feel, how this lasted, and how it flowed into your next day. And if you still feel activated tonight, let's say you do that meditation, you get activated, then we'll revisit this on the next call.
Okay.
Okay. So
Great.
Enjoy your new great feeling. You're like testing it. You're like, what? This feels crazy good. There you go, babe. There you go. All right. So good. Anybody's mind blown right now? Anybody just watch that like, what just happened? Witchcraft. It's the magic, my friends. And it works as well on a headache as it does on trauma, which is what's really mind-blowing. This is what's really profound, okay? And it's very important that, like, there's so many facets to EFT. You can go online and find videos and they work and they're great, but everything that I just did with Monica was very tailored to what she was experiencing. There's a whole bunch of different points. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you use them. Your setup statement really matters, what you choose to say, how you follow the sensation, how you describe the sensation. So this is why, like, the more specific you can get in your EFT treatment, the faster your results are, because you're directly addressing the issue. It is life-changing. It's pretty freaking phenomenal. So Leah, you were next on my list, and we were going to talk about your endo. And you're not in your cycle right now. But let's see what we can share. Can you get on video? Is that possible for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There you are. All right.
Sorry, I was trying to oh shit. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Resend it.
Okay. There she is.
Sorry,
Okay.
I was in the middle of typing out something in the comments and I accidentally sent it to Dawn instead of the group. So I was like, anyway, hi.
All right,
Freaking
Dawn.
out right now.
You're like, what's about to happen to me? So share with us a little bit about like your story around endo. There's a story. It's not just like a physical thing. There's like also a story around it.
It's a story. I don't know about that.
I mean, your job, like what would happen at your job. There's a whole thing around you living with that.
Yes, there's a template around like, sorry, I was caught a little off guard. I didn't think I was going to be talking about my story. All right, let's see. So I'm trying to find a quiet place. My kid's watching TV in there, so it's loud. I'm in the laundry room. The dryer's going. Is that?
That's fine. I can't hear anything.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. All right. So this is where I'm going to be. Okay. So, with my endometriosis, my story is that any job I've ever had in the past, this has been an issue. I would have to find some crazy opiates and able just to come to work because the pain would be excruciating. I could not be vertical.
Okay.
Could not be vertical. And if I was unable to find this pain medication because no doctor believed that I was in so much pain, so it was not a prescription. I had to find it and pay out the ass for it. So, anyway. So if I didn't have that, then I would have to call.
Okay.
And that would give me, and I don't know, I don't know exactly how everybody felt about it. I wasn't somebody that called in all the time, but it was just during my cycle, but I always felt like I was letting everybody down and that like, if I had to call in, that I was going to get fired. Like, I mean, it made me feel like my job was in jeopardy.
Okay.
Every time that I had to call in. I had kind of an asshole boss and he was a guy, had no idea, didn't understand,
Right.
that kind of stuff. But the last month the last cycle that I decided beforehand, before it started, that I wasn't going to focus on, I wasn't going to focus on the pain. I wasn't going to focus on the anticipation. Oh my God, my brain just stopped. Anticipation. I don't know what happened there, but I decided not to focus on that at all. And I had an entirely different experience. The pain was much more manageable, but what was there was the fatigue. I mean, it was just like full body, like knocked me down. I was washing dishes and I was passing out, washing dishes. Like, I was like, what?
Okay.
It's crazy. It was crazy.
Okay. So if you were going to, right now we can't test the physical thing. We'll be able to test the physical thing at another point in time, but we can test the emotional component to this. Okay.
Well, right now I'm mid-cycle and it affects the entire cycle. So while I'm not really having any like crazy symptoms right now, I'm actually having a really good day.
Okay.
But I don't know. How do we do this?
What do you know? Okay, so let me guide you through that. So then let's address an emotional component of it. So what is something that is maybe you're feeling right now? It could be about that, or it could be about pretty much anything.
I'm feeling a little anxiety.
Anxiety.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm on camera or something, but there's a little bit of anxiety going on.
Okay. Let's tap on that. Let's just do that. And then we'll start general and we'll go and see if something happens. Okay?
Okay.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, what would you rate your anxiety right now?
Oh, it's low, it's mild. I don't know, maybe like 1 or 2. It's really not like depressing symptoms.
That's pretty low.
It's just what I feel.
What would be success for you if we could just clear any bit of that? Like just feeling really calm?
You can do that.
Okay, because what I'm noticing is you're moving a lot as well. There's a lot of movement
Okay, so-
happening, and that's an expression
Okay,
of
so-
anxiety.
Yeah. Okay.
No, we're gonna aim for we would be stiller. You'd have an easier time being still, and maybe
Yes, let me find
okay.
a spot. Can you hear my son's music?
It's very faint in the background. It's really like not super distracting. Not really.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So can you go ahead and find that spot for me? It's gonna either side. One side might be more sensitive than the other. It's right at the top of the pec, close to what's called the coracoid process, where the shoulder meets the pec. So up above, yeah. So like corner right here. The either side, you rub and find what feels more sore. So think of like right underneath the collarbone. Go for like right underneath the collarbone. Right, yeah, right around there. You're gonna find one side.
Okay, so it's more towards the armpit, and not.
Well,
more
it's like right. Look at the screen where I am right now. Like my collarbone is right here.
Okay.
Right underneath the collarbone.
Oh,
towards-
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Right here.
Just like
You
right
should
there.
feel like there's a sore spot on one or the other side more so.
I guess this side.
That side feels more.
A little
Okay.
more.
It might be easier to rub with the opposite hand just because you have
Okay.
more access to that. Okay.
All right.
So we would start with, even though I have this anxiety,
Even though I have this anxiety,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this anxiety,
Even though I have this anxiety,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this kind of general anxiety that just kind of lives with me,
Even though I have this kind of general anxiety that just kind of lives with me,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This anxiety,
This anxiety,
top of head, back of neck, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
top of head, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
eyebrow point right here, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
side of eye, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
under eye, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
under nose, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
chin, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
collarbone, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
and thymus, center of the chest, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
this anxiety,
bra strap kind of area, this
this
anxiety,
anxiety, thumbnail bed, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
pointer finger, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
thumb, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
pinky, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
karate chop, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
between ring and pinky, top of hand, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
close your eyes, this anxiety,
this anxiety,
open, hard down right, this anxiety, hard down
this
left,
anxiety,
this anxiety,
this anxiety,
big circle with your eyes to the right, big circle to the left with your eyes. Go ahead and hum. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Karate chop. Top of head, this anxiety.
This anxiety,
Back of neck, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
So I just want everybody to notice how she's relaxing on screen. Like you notice like you're calming down. You can just see it visibly on your face. Your face is calming down. Feel more calm, top of anxiety.
like I still feel it like swirling around inside, like it's like moving.
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, that's a good description. Eyebrow, this anxiety.
This anxiety,
Yeah, it is moving. It swirls. That's a good description. Side of eye, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
Under eye, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
Nose, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
Chin, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
Collarbone, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
There it is. Deep breath. Nice. Sighing. Thymus, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
Yeah, that's good. Bra strap, this anxiety.
this anxiety,
We're gonna do risk this anxiety.
This anxiety.
Take a deep breath. Drop into your body. How do you feel?
It feels like it's trying to come back.
Does it feel like a different emotion?
Stress.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
don't
it's
know.
changing. The quality of
It's-
it is like slightly
It
different.
feels kind of stressful now.
Okay. Stress. So what happened for everybody just like new to this is we peeled back this like mild anxiety that was kind of covering up what was actually feeling, which is stress. Okay.
Might be like on the verge of some sort of like emotional release.
Yep. So what is the stress? Do you know what the stress is about or no?
Well, my cat's dying.
Okay. Well, let's tap on that because you have a little bit of feeling about that. Okay. Can you take a deep breath for me? Just tap and take a deep breath. Tap and breathe. Don't hold your breath. Tap and breathe. Tap and breathe. 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 Just tap and breathe. Really good. Really good. Tap and breathe. Okay. Tap and breathe. Really good.
I'm sorry.
No, don't cry. Don't apologize for crying. It's good. You're good. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you like blueberry pancakes or waffles more?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Blueberry pancakes or waffles more?
Waffles? Did you
Okay.
say
Why
waffles?
Why waffles? Just stick with me. Answer why waffles.
Waffles. What about waffles?
Yeah, why do you like them more?
I don't know.
Okay. So what's happening is we're not going to think about the thing because we don't want you to go into that. Okay, we can move with this without going so deep that you're lost in the point. So the point of EFT is you don't have to even go there. Okay, so a question like that interrupts the cycle and it kind of stops that. Okay, so that's why we do what we do. Okay, so keep tapping. You're going to keep tapping. What's actually happening is that's what's happening in the background. Okay. So we're not going to think about that, but if you were going to think about that circumstance, okay, what number would you give it on a 0 to 10 scale?
The stress that I'm feeling. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
If you were going to think about why you feel the stress, what number would you give it?
A 5.
A 5. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say this thing that's happening in my life.
This thing that's happening in my life.
This thing that's happening, eyebrow.
This thing that's happening.
Side of the eye, this thing that's happening.
This thing that's happening.
Under the eye is happening.
It's happening.
We're not going to talk about, but it's happening.
We're not going to talk about, but it's happening.
This thing that I really don't want to talk about, but it's happening.
This thing I don't really want to talk about, but it's happening.
This thing that's happening.
This thing that's happening.
This thing that's happening.
This thing that's happening.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. And just tap. Breathe. Yep. And tap. Very good. Very good. Just keep breathing. You don't have to think anything or say anything. I don't want you to think about it. Just breathe and tap. Breathe and tap. Really good. Really good. Really good. So what happens with us when we hold our breath, when we're experiencing some sort of trauma or grief, we tend to hold the breath. And so when you breathe, you actually help yourself process. That's what breath does. The breath helps you move. So the tapping and the breath will help you move. Very good. Beautiful. Beautiful work. This thing. Very good. This thing. Maybe rest. This thing. Very good. Breathe. Beautiful. Well done. Top of head, this thing. Back of neck, this thing. Again, top of head again, this thing. You can stop tapping or take a deep breath and just be in your body real quick. Good.
There's still a whole lot of resistance.
Okay. So resistance is what you're feeling.
It doesn't want to leave.
It doesn't want to leave. And why doesn't it want to leave? Tell me.
I mean, I must be holding it back in somehow. I just can't. I don't know.
Sometimes what happens with grief, and that experience in particular, is we feel like because we loved someone or something so much, it's appropriate to grieve like really intensely. And then if we don't grieve, that means that we don't love them. Like that means like we didn't love them, right? So that can be part of what's happening. It's like it doesn't want to leave because it feels like it
I
has
think
to.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So are
I've been
you
holding it in all day, so.
okay? So are you open to going around on that? On that
Yeah.
particular thing. Okay. So we're gonna do a setup statement. Okay. Which is rubbing the sore spot. We're gonna do sore spot rubbing.
Okay.
Say, even though if I let this grief go, it means I was a bad cat.
If I let this grief go, I feel like I'm a bad mom, cat mom.
Cat mom, mom cat. Same thing in my eyes. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I should grieve for a long time.
For a long time.
But I also know that's not totally healthy.
That's not totally healthy.
I deeply and completely
accept myself.
Even though I feel like I should grieve for a long, long time.
Even though I feel like I should grieve for a long time.
I deeply and completely
accept myself.
So you see, that's what happens. That's part of what starts happening is the brain.
This is actually getting sorer. More
sore. Okay, so you can keep rubbing that. You can keep rubbing that spot right there. So this grief. I should have it for a long time.
I should have it for a long time.
I should not let this go.
I should not let this go.
It's only right that I have it for a long time.
It's only right that I have it for a long time.
That's how my cat will know I loved it.
That's how my cat will know I loved it.
If I'm sad forever.
If I'm done forever.
Sad, sad forever.
Sad, sad forever.
It was only really love if I'm super sad forever.
It was only really love if I'm super sad forever.
I have to be sad forever.
My Bluetooth just went out.
Oh. You hear?
Hold on.
I can see this.
Okay, all right.
So back of neck, so super sad forever.
Back of neck. Yes. Well, now I've lost the audio.
Can you hear it all? Yes or no? Can anybody else hear, or is it just Leah who's having trouble hearing?
All right, say something.
I can hear you. Okay, everybody else can hear.
So bizarre. Okay, all right, now Chad.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
That was weird. That there was a little like microphone on here that was turned.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
That's okay. Let's finish the tapping around on this and see like where we get, because I can already feel that it's shifting just from the sore spot. So you can follow, how about you follow along?
All right,
Okay.
let's do this.
So all this sadness
All this sadness
and resistance to letting go of sadness.
and resistance to letting go of sadness.
Because sadness is appropriate forever.
Forever.
It should be sad for a long, long time.
Should be sad for a long,
Long, long time.
long.
As long as possible. You can keep saying whatever comes to mind for sadness. Just say the sadness as well.
Well, I keep losing like your beat. It keeps.
Okay, so just you say this sadness.
The sadness.
And move this sadness. Okay.
Sadness.
Okay. Wrists. Sadness.
I feel nerve jolting in my fingertips.
Okay. Movement. Good. You can stay there for a sec. The sadness. Sadness. Back of neck sadness. Top of head sadness.
Sadness.
Deep breath for me. Deep breath. How's it feel in your body right now? Same phrase of sadness.
Feels gone.
Feels gone. You're like, what?
Kind of feel some tingling like my toes and stuff, like the bottom of my feet. But
Okay. Do you feel energy moving is what you're saying? Do you feel that energy moving through the body?
But it doesn't feel like it's resisting.
Okay.
The resistance part.
It's not trapped up here.
It's not that.
Yeah, it's now down.
Up here.
Right. Okay. So what just happened with Leah was actually something that's like really advanced. So that's moving through trauma. It's like a whole, I'm going to mute you real quick. It's a whole, this is like way more than I was going to do originally on here with you guys. But I wanted you guys to see an example of the power of moving through a really heavy emotion in the body. Like it really makes a big, big difference how you move through the body with these tools. And it's crazy how fast you can move a feeling. So for Leah, that feeling of stress and grief was trapped in the upper part of her body, and just in a tapping round, it moved to the lower part of her body. So it's not that the grief has magically disappeared, but now it's like more manageable. Like now it's lower in her body, and it feels, because feeling sad about something like this is natural. It's not that we want to take away the feeling. What we want is to just mitigate the feeling. So it's something that you can be with and process instead of feel like it's something that makes you stuck. Okay, and that creates anxiety, because grief by nature should not make you so anxious. But if you're resisting the feeling, it will make you anxious. So that's the awareness that I want you to have, that it's okay to have the grief, but it's the anxiety that the resistance was creating. What you were actually feeling was sad, but what you were saying was, I'm anxious. Isn't that interesting?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's just kind of what it manifested as.
Yeah. So now you can just be a little bit sad, but a little bit more throughout the body instead of all right here, and not feel so much of that like static in your.
Well, yeah, all of that is the heaviness. There's no heaviness.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what Monica said. Clear. Feels
Yeah,
clear.
clear. That, look, you're smiling. She's like, I'm clear.
And I was great before, and then it was just like, okay, and I'm gonna dig up all these feelings, and then I don't know, ugly cried on
Yeah, that's okay.
and you know, kind of, I told you I was feeling an emotional release coming up.
Yeah. That's good.
But yeah,
Well
thank you.
Well done.
That was.
So that is just an example of that. And I would like to revisit that when you do have some more of your symptoms, like more of the endo stuff. And then we'll work on from like a physical thing, something you're feeling, and see how far we can go with it there.
Yes, I'm really interested to see like what kind of changes I can make to that. Jesus Christ.
All right. I'm gonna send you back real quick. I'm gonna do the
All
teaching moment over here. Thank you for volunteering. All right, my friends. So here's what I want you to see. And here's how I want you to begin to approach your models, okay? I want you to be able to do a model for something that's happening in your life. And this could be an exercise until we meet next week. And I want you to walk through the thought, feeling, action, result, exactly like we usually do when we're looking at our thoughts. And then what I want you to do is I want you to do a little bit of basic tapping on the model, okay? And this is something I'm putting together that I am literally bridging these two worlds because I think it's going to work really beautiful to help you guys. So first job is I want you to identify a model. And before I would say create a model for where you are right now and then create an intentional model for where you want to be. We're not doing that. Right now, we're only creating a model for where you are. So I want you to identify a circumstance that you have that's like taxing for you, your current thought about that circumstance, the feeling you're having about that circumstance, okay? And the action it's leading you to take and the result it's yielding you. And then you can tap through that whole model, okay? So it would sound something like, let's say your model is finances, okay? Like your finances and your primary thought is, I never have enough. And the feeling you have is worried, okay? And then the action you do is you either overspend or you spin out in your mind or something like that. And then the result you get is that you have even less money and you have more to be worried about, okay? That's a pretty common model that some of you guys have messaged me with. So very simple points that you guys can use that are like non-specific but work really well. And you guys can write this down if it's helpful, or you can revisit the recording, is top of head. Top of head is a really, really good one. Top of head. Eyebrow, where eyebrow begins. Doesn't have to be a lot of pressure either. It can be light tapping. Side of eye, not the temple. Side of eye, under nose, under lip, collarbone, rib cage, and wrists. Okay, this one right here. So that's not all of them, but those are basic ones that are easy to remember. Okay, so that draws kind of like a question mark around your face. That's how you remember the face ones. Cool. Okay, collarbone, rib, wrists, right? Top, question mark around face. What I want you to do is I want it to sound something like this. So if I'm following a model on stress, you can start with in the sore spot because we want a setup statement. The setup statement prevents you from sabotaging, basically. So you want to find that spot on your chest. And you want to say, even though I have this circumstance, go through your model, circumstance with my finances, and I have this thought that I never have enough, and it gives me so much worry and concern, which leads me to overspend and then shows me that I should be even more worried. I deeply and completely accept myself. So you want to put the model in the setup statement. Even though I have this circumstance, my finances, that I think there is never enough, and then I'm worried. And then what I do is I overspend and then give myself more to worry about. I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, say that 3 times. Your reminder phrase that you're going to tap on is going to be the feeling. Okay, so whatever the feeling is in your model, in this case, it would be the worry. You're going to do the worry, this 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 worry. Do it twice. This worry, this worry, this worry. Okay, all the points. And then check yourself. Okay, so give yourself a rating 0 to 10 when you start about whatever that model feels like to you emotionally. How high is that number? Then do 2 rounds of that and then check your number. Okay, so again, your setup statement, even though is going to be your entire model, even though circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result, I deeply and completely accept myself. 3 times. The reminder phrase is the feeling, this worry, this anxiety, this concern, this distress, this hopelessness, whatever that is, that's going to be your reminder phrase. Do that twice and then check yourself. You want to get yourself to between 0 to 3. You want to get your number down 0 to 3. And I would pick something that has like a high emotional charge for you, something that really does have a strong worry or a strong concern or a strong something, and do this with, okay? So I want you guys to all do this, okay? And I want you guys to report in the group, type up what happened. Just, you don't have to tell us what the model was if you don't want to. You don't have to tell us any of that. Just share your experience of what actually happened when you did that. And you got yourself down to between 0 and 3, okay? Cool? All right. I have one more person on our list real quick. We have a few more minutes to do some coaching with on self-sabotage. Beth, you always have a lot of babies around you, so probably video is not going to be the best. Just because I don't want it to be super loud. That can be a little bit distracting, and I know there's a lot of noise sensitive people. Like I'm one of those people. Loud noises really make me super sensitive. So you were talking about self-sabotage, and one of the things you were saying is like you have the best intentions to do like your work or to stick to your program, and then you don't. I really want to talk about this real quick because this is something I'm learning is in EFT, we call it psychological reversal. And what happens and what I'm learning is that it's not about willpower. It's that you're literally like the poles in your body. And I studied polarity therapy, which is a form of energy therapy. And I still do this to my clients on the table. Literally the poles of your body that move you in a certain direction are almost like reversed. So imagine the north and south pole of the earth being like flipped and everything being backwards. This is like what psychological reversal is like. So what that means is even when you're like, I want to do this, your brain is like, nope. And it immediately goes like in the opposite direction. Like, no, we're not. Like, I want to lose 25 pounds. And you're like, nope. Okay. So that's how that happens. Okay. So I'm going to unmute you real quick, Beth. So I want you to tell me, Beth, on a scale of like 0 to 10, 0 being nothing, 10 being a lot, this self-sabotage that you're experiencing, like that feeling of distress that you might have about it, what would you rate that?
Like a 9.
A 9. That's pretty high. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps happening and it's really frustrating. Yeah.
Yep. Super frustrating.
Is that the word you would give it? Like, this is frustrating? Or what other word would you give that?
Like constricting. Is another word. Yeah.
Limiting. Tight. It feels tight.
Yeah, like tight. Like I feel like I'm a piece of trash that's just crumpled up, if that makes sense.
Where in the body do you feel that?
I think I feel it in my shoulders a lot.
Okay. We're going to do back of shoulder tapping. It's going to be good. So we're going to do a round real quick in a few minutes that we have. So she's at a 9, and we're going to tap on this, and we're going to try and get it down to 0 to 3 as quickly as possible, okay? So you're going to find that sore spot for me. See which side is more sore.
This side.
That side. Okay, cool. Even though I have the best intentions and sabotage myself every time.
I
deeply and completely accept myself.
What was that?
Deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, your sound went off, but you just follow along with me, okay? Even though I have the best intentions and I always sabotage myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I always freaking sabotage myself. And I can't ever complete the things I want to complete. I deeply and completely accept, love, and forgive myself. This damn self-sabotage. It's so constricting. It's so frustrating, this sabotage. I'm so freaking upset about the sabotage. I'm so over it. This freaking sucks. I don't ever do what I'm saying I'm gonna do. I make up all these freaking excuses. And then I let myself down. And I hate it. I'm totally over it. I'm totally done. I hate this self-sabotage. This self-sabotage. So frustrating. Okay, top of hand between pinky and ring. This is so frustrating. Close your eyes. Open your eyes, so frustrating. Look down right. Look down left. Big circle to the right. Big circle to the left. Gonna hum for me. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The self-sabotage. I'm so frustrated by this. Back of neck, frustrated, frustrated. Top of head, so frustrated. Back of neck again, so frustrated. Notice what's happening in your body. Top of head, frustrated. Eyebrow, frustrated. Side of eye, so frustrated. Under eye, so frustrated. Under nose, frustrated. Chin, frustrated, constricted. Collarbone, frustrated. Side of arm, so frustrated. Wrist, frustrated. Take a deep breath. See if I can get you back on. Okay.
Okay.
So how do you feel right now?
I'm feeling a lot better. I feel like a big relief happened.
Yeah. Do you feel calmer? Like there's a drop in the system?
Yeah, like way calmer.
Okay. If you were to give it a 0 to 10, what would you rate it now?
Like a 2.
Like a 2. Wow. That was a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
Can you share us what you felt in your body? Like what was happening as you were tapping?
I don't know like how to explain it in words, but like when I was tapping up here the last few times, I don't know if other people have had like an angel come to them and like kiss them on the forehead or something. It kind of felt like that.
Okay.
And like the weight in my shoulders doesn't seem to be there as much. Like I still have some back here, but I've always had a problem with that shoulder. So I don't feel squished anymore. I feel more open and flowy.
More like this?
Yeah, more like I just did an hour of yoga, only not.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
did. You did a mental yoga. That's what you did.
Yeah.
Cool, huh?
It is awesome.
That is cool, isn't it? So
Mhm.
what happened is we took away this feeling of this is impossible, and we gave you the feeling of this is possible. And so now when you go into your world, how do you think you're going to behave? How do you think you're going to act?
A lot more calmer and released from what I've been. I can hear my husband looking for me, so
That's okay.
I can go back to the kids and not be so like I was really frustrated with them because they're not listening right now, but I'm gonna do something better now.
Now you can just tap on one point. Just pick one. When they start getting you frustrated, just be like, my kids are making me crazy, and just tap and talk. Seriously. Seriously.
That's awesome. Thank you.
For volunteering. All right, y'all. Hopefully your mind is a little bit blown, and now you understand how to use this for your models, okay? So we kind of did that with Beth. Her model was this self-sabotage. This is like her story. And she was really frustrated. And I asked her, okay, like, how does that feel? She gave me some really specific words. And what I did is I dialogued what I would imagine her internal dialogue would be. But you guys are doing it on yourself, so you know what your internal dialogue is. So I want you to do the internal dialogue. Like, this is so frustrating. This sucks. I'm over it. Like, I want to be done with this. Whatever that is, just do it. And then rate your number. Very important that you give yourself a number before and then you give yourself a number after so you can see the change. And then journal about it and put it in the TAU in the group page. I want to see what you guys are learning about. Now you're not only have your models, you know how to work through them energetically so you don't get stuck at the unintentional model. And then further, like maybe next week or the week after, we'll talk about how to put the new model into your energy system. And now you'll be able to work with both. Cool? Is that exciting? Y'all should be so pumped right now. So you don't tap the ring. Sometimes you do. Like sometimes if I'm working with like trauma, PTSD, things of that nature, I will do that one. But when you do this one, you're accessing the ring finger. Okay. So this particular segment accesses the ring finger. So you don't really have to tap that one. You kind of cover that when you're doing that metacarpal. Yeah, but you can. There's nothing wrong with not tapping it. It's just not like super necessary because you're going to access that another way. All right, this was the fastest hour ever. So we got through everybody who submitted questions. Yes, so get your model, Sable, figure out what the model is, like why are you feeling low vibe? So identify what the low vibe is, get very specific about that feeling. Is it stressed? Is it hopeless? Is it anxious? Like what is the thing that you're feeling? Okay, put that in the feeling part of the model. Pick out your thoughts, the circumstance, like fill in the rest of your model and then go to town and use the setup statement for your whole model. Even though I have this circumstance and I'm thinking this about it, which is making me feel this about it, and I'm doing this as a result, and then getting that result, I deeply and completely accept myself, okay? And then let me know what happens. I'm so excited. This is gonna rock your world. All right, my loves, until we meet next week, send me your emails. If you want me to tap with you, if you want me to coach you and tap with you through stuff, help you figure out the models and move through them, send the emails, okay? That way I can do it with you on screen, okay? All right, y'all. I'll see you next week. Bye.